Jai Gurudev, welcome to your Saheli chat show. My name is Jas Saikon, and with me as always I have Gurdial Gacha and Davinda Ubi. Hello Ji, welcome.
Hello Ji, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, नवे साल दे बहुत बहुत मुबारक है.
Exactly, नवा साल शुरू होया हुण है ना. ता कल्ले नवे साल नूं नहीं आपां नूं इदां सोचना चाहिदा, पर नवे साल नूं सारे थोड़ा जिहा ज़्यादा सोचदे भी मैं ये गोल सैट करना, मैं ये गोल सैट करना. And ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸੈੱਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਗੇ goals ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਸਾਲ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਦੱਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ.
Obviously this year the thoda different I made a goal setting because of all the work that we've done over the years,
yes.
So I don't believe that नवे साल बहुत ज़रूरी है resolution बनाने, because once you understand how your mind and how the universe works, you don't need a New Year's Day resolution. It
exactly.
it become a tradition, I think, throughout the world, and people think that this new year means new beginnings and everything, but not every day should be a new year, new beginning.
Exactly.
And how do you feel?
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ?
I just like you've just said, it puts a lot of pressure on people to make sure they're doing something different. And yes, we all should, you know, not should, because we shouldn't use that word, because that automatically puts pressure on us.
Yes.
And I think it's nice just to feel like I want to make some changes that are going to be good for me, that are going to serve me and not society and things like that.
Yes, they've got to be achievable for you, because we're all different, है ना? And you know जिदा तुसी क्या आप पहला should ला देने आ, वो फिर बिल्कुल ही थानू पता fail हो जाना है, क्योंकि 80% of the goals जेरे set करते हैं आपां ਉਹ ਫੇਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਲਈ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਹਤੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇਟਸ ਸੋ ਟਰੂ, ਆਪਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਥੋੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦਾ, ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਜੱਜ ਕਰਦਾ.
I mean,
that was the best advice I had. And you know, viewers, we will share this one day why I'm saying this, but that was the best advice Gurdial gave me as a coach.
I think, you know, sometimes we ourselves put pressure on ourselves, and we don't even talk about it to our friends, our families, and we just think, oh, you know, I want to do this, I have to do this, or I can't do this. But really, if something's been given to you, whether it's a friendship, whether, you know, whatever kind of something coming towards you which is good, then we should just embrace it and allow it to flow and go forward with it and just enjoy the process.
That's right. And when we say to करी जाने हैं, but it's अपनी सोच है. You know, it's not the issues you were talking about, the family or the work or whatever, or the health. It's the thought that keep, you know, automatically keep playing, replaying. So this is when I say inflict own self-suffering on ourselves and causing ourselves a miserable life.
Yes.
You know. And if we just kind of allow things to happen, you'll find that there's joy in everything that we do. Whether that's making a nice meal, or, you know, going out and just getting your hair done, just meeting your friends, and anything that, and it doesn't matter whether it's a male friend or a female friend. I hope to think that we're modern enough to not judge people who may want to go and meet a male friend just because they're your friends.
Exactly. And you know, whoever's your best friend, whoever fills your soul, it's good to actually go and spend time with that person, because at the end of the day, you know, apni khushi bahut zaruri hai. And we sometimes don't even realize happiness kiya, joyfulness kiya, really. That is the real khushi, that joyfulness. You know, happiness we might base it on, oh, I've got more than that person, or I've got better things than that person. That isn't joyfulness.
For me personally, I feel happiness is really living in the present. In the present moment, because we do get so engrossed thinking about, you know, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, and we're missing the most important time, which is the moment now. Because everything's in the moment now. All the happiness, all the feeling of safe and security is in the moment, and we miss that. And we were just talking to you earlier on about, I learned a lot from little children, babies, because they know how to live in the moment, in the present. They're not worrying about the future or, you know, dwelling on the past. And they're living in the present moment actually allows them to feel safe, and they feel, you can see their light eyes, you know, you can see them so lit up with joy. You can actually see happiness in them when you're watching them painting or splashing in the puddles and things like that. And that's the moment is the most crucial time, and that's where we really learn to live, actually living. And if you hear about people who are terminally ill, and you ask them, I mean, few of them might say they feel life has cheated on them, but most of them will say, you know, they actually learn to live in the moment. They actually really feeling, embracing every little moment, you know, every simple things they see as the most beautiful, precious thing. And they're making the most of their life. And they're actually learning to live in the moment, actually when they know that they're at the brink of death. But they're actually living. Actually, we are most of the times so focused on akana and everything and missing out the moment. And not actually living. We're just existing, but we're not actually living. So as people know they're close to death, they're actually living. You ask them and you talk to them, and they really love the taste of their food. They love the environment. They see the greenness in the, you know, in the nature and everything. They're actually living.
Because they are actually appreciating each moment, aren't they? Because they've been told of an expiry date, or they're not well and they know they haven't got long. So they are really appreciating each moment.
That's right.
And living, you know, each moment present and on their terms.
That's right.
And this is what we try to actually, you know, remind our viewers to do. We're all guilty. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੇਤਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਵਾਂ ਸਾਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਡਰਾਈ ਜੈਨੂਅਰੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੋਈ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਭਾਰ ਘਟਾਵਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀਕੈਨਰੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰਸ ਆ ਬਟ just do what you feel you need to do or you need to implement in your life. And most importantly, you know, is to have a daily routine, not just in January, not just in the new year, a daily routine. And being disciplined is the main thing. Waking up early, like, you know, that hour is so powerful.
I call it the holy hour.
World is asleep.
A holy hour. You know,
I love that early hour. I'm always been a morning person, and I do so much in that 1 hour. You know, when I was going to set up your Saheli, I used to get up, say 4 o'clock in the morning, and that was me done. I'd be grateful to God. Thank you, Babaji, for giving me another day, waking me up today, because there's somebody who hasn't woken up today. And it just starts with that. Thank you. And you know, most people are going, "Mera phone kitte," as soon as you wake up. I was actually getting out of bed, thanking God for another day, and then I would go downstairs, and before I even went down, I'd put a smile on my face. Because you know when you put that smile on your face, that just changes everything. And sometimes you have to be in a dark place to appreciate, like we said, when the person is dying or when a person's been through a lot of grief. You appreciate each moment that you've got. And I used to get up and I used to be journaling about what I want to do. And you know, the day used to just be so beautiful because when you've started that first hour correctly, your 23 hours will be absolutely brilliant.
And it's usually say early hours in the morning. I usually say before 6 o'clock. Like I said, the vibration, everybody's asleep, so there's less chaos of people's vibrations and thoughts flying around. So you're able to have a more direct connection with source energy with God, so you get more inspiration and you get more ideas. And also, it's just like you, let's say you're going to work early morning and obviously leaving, and there's less traffic. You get to your destination quicker, don't you? It's the same with connecting with God. When the vibration is low and it's less chaotic, we do connect quicker.
Definitely.
And I think the other thing is it's nice just to have that time to yourself before you get into the hustle and bustle of family life, or you know, answering to everybody but yourself. So it's almost like a sacred time where you can do whatever you want.
Time,
Take your time with having your coffee, reading your paper, whatever it is that you enjoy. I mean, me personally, I love to do meditation first thing early in the morning. I mean, you know, I'll just wake up whatever time and put my headphones on, and at the moment I'm listening to.
I was going to say you're doing something, aren't you, at the moment?
There's a Deepak Chopra who's doing like a Spotify 21 days of meditation, and it's all about abundance, and it's literally 15 minutes, but it can change your whole morning, your mindset, and how you want to kind of look at life in a completely different way, and it's just beautiful. And I'm actually only on the 3rd or the 4th day, but I'm just so enjoying it, and I feel like that time is so beautiful. It's sacred and
and it's you absorb, like say, so much more. And then there's the Brahma Kumaris. I like listening to them because that's powerful. You know, obviously Apni Bani is powerful anyway. So there's lots of things, but it's the time for you to connect with yourself and just be you. Concentrate on your breath, if nothing else.
I mean, the scientific proofs, there's evidence that 2 months, 60 days of meditation actually grows, you know, the telomeres on your DNA to actually start growing, so it actually lengthens your age. So that's how, this is pure evidence. So that's to say, just do 60 days and you feel different, you feel younger. And it's just powerful meditation.
Beautifully put. And you know, those that meditate, one of the natural glow don't wear no makeup, and you've started to do it. And actually, we said to you, you look so good. But it does have an impact when you're meditating. You're naturally glowing. Because we put makeup on to look good, but those that meditate, they don't do it. They have a natural glow, and it just says a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Like you said, deep breathing, and when we're slowing down on our breathing and everything, we're actually getting into parasympathetic phase. That means we're in that sort of calm state and healing state, and our immune system obviously switches on, and we're in that growth and repair state.
Definitely.
And obviously we're telling our body this is safe and we're connected, and we're just allowing ourselves to heal through that process.
Because your mind, you make your mind clear, you clear your mind, don't you? And you clear any blocks when you're meditating. So it's really understanding how to do the meditation that works for you.
And this is good because it helps you to kind of, you know, start on that journey. And then it's really good. I mean, it doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter when you do it.
Exactly.
You know, just maybe
it's whatever you're doing, is having the discipline to stick to it. That's what the magic is, isn't it? And also allow yourself to trust the process and be patient with it, because everybody's got different ways of meditating, you know. But whatever way you choose what makes you feel peaceful and makes you feel calm. And also, you know it's working, you know the meditation is working when you find that things that used to trigger you, bother you before, they don't concern you as much, you know, somebody pushing in the queue or somebody, you know, overtaking you, and all of a sudden you think, oh, that used to really bother me before, and you know meditation is working then. You know, you notice throughout the days and weeks that less things bother you.
And you're calm, you're in a good place, aren't you? And this kind of goes well with, you know, Dorona. Make fear your friend. I love that, because when you make fear your friend, get the fear ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. It's your own fear. So if you make fear your friend, life will be easy and flowing.
Fear is just we learned, haven't we, over the childhood from our parents and everything. We got a fear of, you know, losing money, fear of being neglected or rejected. It's something we learned from our environment.
And fear of being, you know, it's like we've been told, be good, don't do that, and you know, be the good girl. So it's all these fears, and then we sometimes say, I wish my mum or my dad had told me this, but they only tell us what they know as well. And you know, they're doing the best they can.
And also fear is doing something that you're not normally doing, and that's where growth happens.
You're out your comfort zone, aren't you?
And that's when you're moving forward and thinking, well, actually, you know, we change all the time, and we've got to allow ourselves to face fears and you know, not necessarily confront things in a aggressive way, but actually just think, all right, well, I might deal with this in a different way, and you never know, the result might be completely different to what you expected. And sometimes we can allow, you know, we can be judgmental and through fear, but if we're just kind to ourselves, then it can make things just so much easier and joyful.
I mean, usually if you can just do a simple process, like if you're feeling like fear is anxiety or a panic attack or anything like that, confront it in a way, like sit with it, because when we're avoiding it, it actually allows the fear to sort of like it takes over and you feel overwhelmed in it. So the best way to actually release the fear is sit with it, whatever you're feeling. Let's say somebody's triggered you, all of a sudden you're feeling quite let's say uneasy, discomfort or hurt or whatever, overwhelmed, any of those negative emotions, whatever it is, wherever you're feeling it, sit with it. I'll usually put my hand on it. It could be my throat or my chest or in my stomach. I'll just sit with it and I'll say, I'm not going to run away from this. I'm actually going to allow myself to feel it and be with it and be okay with it. And it could take 10 minutes, it could even take an hour sometimes, but I don't want to neglect it and ignore it, because the more I do that, the more I sort of like emphasizing it to last longer than it needs to be. So that's the best way to do it. Feeling is healing. So once we feel it, it will heal. But have a tendency that we're so scared of feeling it. We live in an avoidance. We try and find ourselves, watch a movie, or we'll eat something.
It's
or
just any distraction.
Yeah, any way of avoiding it, you know.
Instead of seeing it as a limiting thought, look at it as an exciting challenge.
Yeah.
I think because as the gateway to achieving your goals, it actually gets easier when you make it your friend, and instead of allowing it to hold you back, it will become comfortable in holding you back if you allow it. So
but I think like you said, if you sit with it and maybe even question it, what is it that I'm scared of? What is the fear? And work your way through it. You can think, and you might think, well, it's just a big cloud hanging above my head, and you're allowing it to kind of consume you, when really it could just be something that necessarily may not happen.
It's just a learned habit.
And there's something that's been done, I can't remember whether it's theory, but it says that the majority of things that we fear never actually happen.
Because it's the future and then it's frightened you from actually taking any action, because that fear is kind of taken over, hasn't it? So just like up our goals, fears be acknowledge them,
and look at the worst case scenario. And if you can face the worst case scenario, then anything less than that, well, then you've kind of gone through it.
Fears are only byproducts of your thoughts, aren't they? They're nothing else. So
transform fear into power.
I was just going to say power of positivity.
Power of positivity, I mean, for me that is really like, once I've understood how my mind works and how the universal laws work, we can really live in that state of positivity and realize that that we do have the ability and the power to change our thoughts and beliefs. And like you said, we have to persist with it. It's a lifestyle, not like this just starting something new, but something I have to live for the rest of my life with, that every time I get challenged, I just have to look at it with a different perspective, because that's where my power lies. Just changing my view and my thinking about it, that's where I feel that I can have a positive experience in what before I perceived as a negative thing, but I just changed my perception about it.
Yeah, because at some stage we're all going to get stressed, anxious, depressed, because we wouldn't be normal if we didn't. But then it's just knowing, like say, that mindset and turning your negatives into a positive by maybe just little gratitudes, looking at all the things that are great in your life. And whatever you focus on, like we said, that expands, right? You get more of it.
What we were discussing earlier on, like some people are afraid to ask for help because it feels like I look stupid, I don't come across that I'm not intelligent enough, I might be a burden. But then just changing your perspective. What if asking for help makes the other person feel quite important, makes them feel special, and also makes the other person think that you're such a person who wants to explore more, wants to learn more. Asking for help is such a positive thing, but some people think asking for help is such a negative thing.
We were talking about this, weren't we, on the way? Because today I actually couldn't drive my car, and I messaged Dav, could you pick me up? And I did feel like, and she said, why? And straight away, I sent her a long message, and straight away she calmed me down and said, no problem, no problem. So sometimes I sort of there, just try. We put our own blocks in because our own thoughts, oh my God, I'm letting her down. Or I said I would do it and I need to do it. But ask for help. There is nobody judging you. Again, we're judging ourselves. So little things like that, so we're just here to share nuggets with you and just remind you, how you could be living as to how we are. Ups and downs, otherwise we wouldn't be normal, right? And the other thing is, because it's everywhere. You know how people say we should discipline ourselves and eliminate those or the environment, whatever's toxic for us, and those that are no longer serving us. So there's nothing wrong with having a clear out on your phone, on your social media.
I think that's a good thing. I think everybody, well, a lot of people I know try to do that. Even if it's just clearing out your home and then your car, and or but also looking at, well, what do I want to make better for myself? And decluttering is a good thing. It lightens you, it makes you feel better. And if you can give things to charity and things like that, where it will be better for somebody else than sitting in your wardrobe. I know we've spoken about this before. But it's good, and it's good to kind of, you know, help
exactly.
others.
And then that's self-love, and you know you're putting yourself first because you're decluttering the things, the people that are no longer serving you, or people that just take. And sometimes you feel so drained. So you know how we have our drains and we have our radiators? Sometimes, you know, that's how people are.
You have to explain that. Because not everybody will understand.
Because some people, you know, you get so much warmth from, like you two. You are my radiators. I get so much love and warmth. And then there are some.
Just don't sit on me.
No, wait. And then there are some that are your drains. They drain the soul and the will to live from you. You know, I find that, and I suppose I'm a bit of an empath. I can feel people's energies. And you know, they say when you're very close with somebody, you feel, you kind of develop a sixth sense, and you feel their energy, and you feel their whereabouts, you feel everything. I could never do that. But now, as I'm with you coaches, I've honestly developed and learned so much. And it's just changed me. It's just changed my prospect, you know, on life and living.
I think you should also be responsible for when you say, I want to move toxic people, situations out of my life. Do it, but do it from a place of love and compassion, not out of judgment.
No.
I don't want those people because, I was thinking, I don't want those people in life because they're useless, they're just mad. Don't judge them, but do it for your self-love, for your, like you said, you're protecting your energy, but without judgment. Because if you allow yourself to put judgment in there, you're actually sort of like creating this karmic cycle of attracting more people like that in your life. But if you leave them with love and compassion, that breaks this.
Absolutely. It's like I said, I had to remove somebody from one of the groups. And you know what? It's like your energy is your frequency, it's your currency, isn't it? And you've got to spend it really wisely and with the right people. And when somebody or something isn't fitting in, it's okay. You're not doing it in a nasty way, like you said, but you do it in a way, and you don't get any bad vibes or bad energy from them. That's what it's all about. But you've got to remember to put yourself first as well. It's great helping people, but there has to be a set time to do these things. Because if you're so drained, we're not good for anybody, are we? So, like when you do an event or you do a couple of chat shows, you know you've got to really look after yourself and go into that zone. So just share that with us. I'll just do that.
I mean, like I said, after I've been, like you're like a people's person, so am I. I love being out there, but I also know that I need that time for myself. I go in my little cave, I need to go in that hermit mode, I need to recharge because I'm taking responsibility of my energy, because the work that we do get ourselves into such deep, intense stories, and people's dramas can be quite, you know, traumatizing as well, and we do take that on board. So as a part of self-love, I do find myself I have to recharge. I know you do exactly the same, and that means sometimes just being quiet and like meditating and just exercise, do my baths, so you know, things and sage things. So I have to sort of cleanse myself.
Guilt-free, isn't it? It's all guilt-free because you know you have to do that, otherwise you're no good to anybody because you're no good to yourself.
But then also have to realize that even with my clients, why I've attracted those clients in my life, because there's something resonating with me, so I have to work on myself as well. Because just because we coach, it doesn't mean that we are completely healed and we have all the answers. We attract everybody that will be mirroring something back to us. Even our clients will be mirroring back something to me. So I'll work on that myself. So if it's clients or people who say toxic people, what were they teaching me? If I attracted in my life, what were they teaching me? If they made me feel not respected and they used me, they walked all over me, they abused me, what is it in me that attracted them in the first place? So something in me on a subconscious level believes that I'm not worthy of being loved, I'm not worthy of being respected, not worthy of being understood. Do you understand? So there's something I learned from a very long time ago that I already believe about myself. Because what you believe, you get. That's simple. What you believe, you get. So those toxic people that we judge, they're actually teaching us something that we believe about ourselves.
Absolutely.
So once we've understood what they're teaching us, then you can let them go gently.
Yes, I mean, and we're not, you're not everyone's cup of tea, and not everyone's your cup of tea.
And that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've got my own view about this. I mean, I know you've said your part, but I believe that toxic people, or people who are not your cup of tea or whatever, I feel that if they are abusive or rude or anything like that, there's something going on. And sometimes I'm the kind of person that will sit and I want to know what is it that's making you be this way with me. And back in the day I wouldn't have done that, but now I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable in myself because I feel hurt people.
Yes, totally.
Definitely.
And I just think I want to know before I let you go. And if you're obviously you've got to be comfortable in meeting halfway and sitting together and saying, and that person might break down and say, well, actually, this is the reason. And then you can start working on that and then rebuilding that relationship. So, I know it's a different way of looking at it from you, but I always think, well, if somebody's being rude and angry, there's something going on. There is a backstory.
It's like
to this.
that movie I was telling you to watch, The Shack. It's about the boy being so abused by his dad. And he was so angry with his dad all his life that God should punish him the way he treated me and the way he treated his mum. But when, actually in that movie, when God sort of like took him back, saying like how his dad was treated when he was young.
And that's what I think.
That's what I'm saying. So like I said, hurt people, people, So,
and I'd like to give that person an opportunity.
Yes, definitely.
And then after that, if they say, well, it's none of your business or anything like that, then that's fine.
Totally.
I've done my bit.
So, absolutely. And what else were we going to discuss today? You know what, we have so many notes and things that we're going to discuss this, but then what happens is whatever or however it's meant to come out, it just flows.
And we're talking about positivity, and so another thing one of our daily rituals, I think exercise is so good, isn't it?
Absolutely. Look how it makes you feel, and your blood is circulating, and for me the biggest thing is I've had my water allowance for the day. When I go and do my class, you go and have a little dance in the morning, 40-50 minutes, it just sets you up, doesn't it? Like we spoke about that first hour, going to the gym is like that as well. And if you're not in a position to go to the gym, you can exercise at home. There are so many ways now that you can exercise, whether you go to the park or put a YouTube video on or listen to some Bhangra music and dance and stuff like that. So it's whatever makes you feel more alive and it gets your blood pumping and all those kind of things.
It obviously gets our lymphatic system moving, because the lymphatic system can't move on its own unless we exercise. And our lymphatic system obviously is connected to our immune system, isn't it? And it boosts our immune system, so we have less, susceptible to catching viruses and pathogens and bacteria.
Because your immune system stays strong, doesn't it? And it's also like, putting it into practice on a daily basis and just being mindful about little things like I need to do 10,000 steps daily, whether I do it by a walk, whether I do it by a class. It's just being mindful, and then you just get to know, some people count their calories. I'm going to be good, but it's just like say everything in moderation, right? Because at the moment there's lots of things like this everywhere. It's like I'm going to smash it, I'm going to make it the best year possible. I mean, our event in a couple of weeks is a bit like this, about new year, new you, set those intentions. And we want to, but make them manageable, do them smart. Not a different goal hod kisi ne set kitte ta tusi vi kan lag jo and they don't mean anything to you. You failed, there you go, straight at the first hurdle.
And be kind to yourself, just do things gently at your pace. Don't look at the people around you, because that's going to make you feel, it may make you feel inferior. And you might think, oh, I'm never going to get there, but you will. But you just got to take it nice and slowly at your own pace. That's going to make you feel happy that, I've achieved this, and tick it off your calendar to say, look, these are the days I've done it, and it gives you'll feel that sense of achievement.
It does, and you give that feeling, release of serotonin and endorphins, and it makes you feel good afterwards. So then you're in a better place to think in a positive way, and actually look forward to things. Like if you have got new goals and intentions, after half an hour or 20 minutes of exercise, you do feel good with all those beautiful, lovely hormones are just flooding through your system.
Exactly, and people, we were talking in a group yesterday, weren't we, Dad? stuff, they were saying, oh, I've eaten 2 gulab jamun now, I've eaten gajrela, I think you started it off. That's fine. But somebody who is trying to actually give up sugar, I was listening to a program today and they were saying, 7-8 days is the hardest. If you haven't had sugar for 7-8 days, you probably won't want it because you've got so used to not having it. Or have a nectarine. Sugar urge kicks in, have a nectarine or have a handful of like dried fruits and nuts, and that satisfies. Or sometimes all we need is a glass of water.
That's right.
And we're not even hungry sometimes. It's happened to me a lot. I'm a very sweet tooth person, but sometimes you do have to manage it and control it.
I think, with everybody's got so much Christmas stuff left over. And I always think just share it out.
Share it out.
Because if it's there, you're going to end up eating it. And then you're going to feel guilty and you've been to the gym and you think, oh, but you can't resist it because it's there. So we try and just like give it out and share it with other people. And
definitely, that's what we do, don't we?
That's more helpful to everybody.
Exactly. And when your children see you doing this kind of thing, that's how they learn. Because they think, we don't need to, they're being mindful and they distribute the stuff rather than we don't need to hang on to everything, do we?
Because at the end of the day, it's only going to make you feel low and, continuously eating, you feel like, oh my God, I've got, people have given me this. Well, it's okay to share. And when you've got people around, get it out and get rid of it.
And this like New Year for us, like with your Saheli, it's given us like a great opportunity really to reset. And we've got exciting things in the pipeline. We've got a new launch on the 23rd of January in St Coalfield, which Gurdial is the ambassador for. So really excited about this event. Je tusi koi jana local ya sun rahe honge, please join us. Have a look at our Your Saheli Facebook page, contact us and we can give you details for our event. Because कई बारी आप इकट्ठे होके इधर discuss करते कोई गल एक बंदे नू difference हो जाए ओदी life दे विच or achieve their goal, it's worth it, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's a day where we're going to have a day where we're all going to interact. It's not speaker after speaker day. It's an event where
nice food and drink.
And you tell us what's showing up for you. You have the questions, we have the answers.
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਓਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੋਗੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. It's a safe space ਜਿੱਥੇ it's confidential. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਹੋਰ ladies ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਵੇ. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ if we're in a good place, we want the same for everybody. We don't want it just for ourselves.
No.
This in my view, this is like a movement where some people have waited all of the majority of their life to start feeling like they're living now. Once their children have grown up, gone to university, got married, they feel like now it's my turn. But you don't have to wait that long. You can start as soon as you feel like you want to. If there's something that's burning and you want to start, then why not now? I always say that.
And it'd be nice to talk on the event as well, that where women are actually really feeling stuck in their life, we can really help them on a subconscious level. Because consciously we say, I want to give up sweets or chocolates, but why do we find ourselves drawn to it again? And it could be something simple like you feel loved. Maybe when your grandma, dadi, nani young, she treated you something sweet because it reminded you felt loved. So sometimes you treat yourself to a snack because subconsciously you feel reminding you that you're feeling loved again. So that's on a subconscious level. So we can work to that extent. So help you to get unstuck.
And if we can help one sister, like we always say, it's a mission accomplished, right? Because it's like something might just be coming up for you and you might feel a little bit like, oh, I don't know where to go to. But when you come to events like this, it's an eye-opener because everybody connects with somebody and you might just even make that one special friend that you want to just meet for a coffee on a regular basis. And that's all it is. And we talk about all things taboo, from menopause to, from menopause to any relationships, any challenges, children, family.
Empowering you.
Health, especially health as well.
Everything is discussed. So, nothing is out of the equation.
But it'd be nice at the event as well, because when ladies get to know each other, then you can partner up, like exercise. I love doing it when I got a friend or somebody, even if I can't do it with them physically meeting them, we can meet up on Zoom or something that we sort of prompt each other as well. So it really does help when we, 80% more we're likely to do it.
Exactly, and when you've agreed with somebody, you feel, I've got to go, because otherwise I'm going to let that person down. So that's a good way of feeling like that.
It's a good pull, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think with the way the pandemic is and everything, we try not to mention it, but it is there, and it's good. It's good to be able to go somewhere where you feel like you can connect with somebody and talk and feel like it's a normal environment. And just to have something to look forward to. And I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head, because these 2 years have been challenging for everybody. We'd be lying if we said, oh, they've been they've been difficult, and none of us expected this, right? And it just goes to show, they अपनी life they बच्चों को trauma on that. Nobody expects it.
So even if you don't fancy coming, or you know somebody that might want to come, then please mention it, because they may take something away. And
exactly.
And it is about getting together, supporting each other, and moving forward with your life, and thinking, well, actually, had I not have gone, I wouldn't have known this. And it's about connection and networking. And
exactly. And remember, 2022 is a blank canvas. So, you are the creators of your destiny. So do what you feel you need to do, or whatever's showing up for you. Be open, share it. Just by sharing, I've shared little things with these two, and life just changes, and you just know what your triggers are, you know where you need to set your boundaries.
That's right.
If somebody or something is upsetting you, you know how to deal with it better.
Right, and you always be rewarded. So if you're coming, there will be a reward. We're going to have a nice meal together. And every time we've done something, we learned something new, don't feel overwhelmed by it. Feel a sense of gratitude that, the universe is now supporting me. I've started this journey, and then we reward ourselves.
The paintbrush is in my hand.
Yes.
It's true, the paintbrush is in your hand. So you make that choice, what you want to do, where you want to go. It's like, the saying when they say, on our last day on earth, you might see that person you could have been if you made these decisions, took these choices.
All I can really
then it's too late, so just do it.
I can really emphasize that no one is stuck in their lives. It may look it might feel like I'm feeling hopeless and I'm so overwhelmed with all the pressures and what's required of me. But our mind is so powerful, we can create anything we want. Once we start focusing on that image of what our desired dreams and wishes, it will come into reality. But it's about being persistent and sticking to it, and doing your morning rituals, doing your meditations, doing your exercise, focusing on only on what you want. It has to come into reality. It's no doubt about it, it will happen.
But you do have to take action. There is something that you've got to also do. If you are listening to this program, then you've been attracted to it, and we've come into your life in order to kind of help you to move into a better space. And sometimes you might not want to at this point, and you might want to do it down the line, but it's just about empowering you and helping you think, well, I don't have to stay where I am right now, and you are in control and you can make things better. And we're here to support you and make you feel that life isn't all about other people, it's more about you.
And we can guide you, we can support you, but you have to do the work. But work out of a place of excitement, enjoyment, not feeling out of desperation.
No. And we've got so much to learn, haven't we, from each other, because the other sister isn't your competition. And if you come with that sort of mindset, because a lot of us go into that competition, but she is actually proof that you can do whatever you want, because she's doing it, or she's done it, or there's others there. It's just so empowering.
Even we will talk from experiences. We're only going to share what we actually done. So that's the only way we can be empowering to other people. We didn't get here just by like that. We actually we manifested this by visualization, and also, like I said, honoring ourselves and into place of forgiveness and valuing ourselves that we got to this position. Everybody is entitled to do that.
You deserve it, and you deserve to live a life of joy and happiness and abundance.
Absolutely.
But it has got to happen where you want it more than you want what you don't want, I suppose. Is that right?
Yeah.
So and that's what this is all about.
And it's also like if we are continuously competing with each other, we become bitter, don't we? And when you continuously compete with yourself, you become better. It's just really investing in yourself. That's the main message we're giving for the new year, and for also every week, all the time. Invest in yourself, look after yourself, because you want to be the best version of you. And that's what our event, like we said, that's what that's going to be. That's our purpose and our goal for the day. So you leave that room trying to do what you've got to do and being the best version of yourself and make those changes, and we're there to help you. I think you know, just look at what it is that we're doing. It's on all of our Facebook pages, and you can read and look at where we want to go with this. I mean, your Saheli, if you want to talk about your Saheli and where it's come from and where we're hoping for it to go. Yeah, it's basically it's an organisation where we encourage you to live your life on your terms, because you're only here once, and if you do it properly once is enough. And it's to be empowered, inspired, and to be that woman and to live that purpose-led life that you're here to live. That's what your Saheli is about. And there should be a group like this in every town, city, country, because it's where women get together, just really chat and chat and just talk about whatever, because sometimes that's all you want. And sometimes they're bigger events, like, you know, where we bring in key motivational speakers, or we're doing like a Bollywood night at the end of the year. So, and we're doing a big, actually, health and wellbeing Mela, aren't we, in September? So we've got loads of things in the pipeline, and we can't do it on our own. So we do need support from all of you out there to make this bigger and better. And this is the first new launch that we're doing. So Gudyal's the coach. And who better than Gudyal, who's been with us now for a little while, so she knows what we're about, and it's going to help her, but it's going to help her serve others.
That's right.
And make the difference and do the work that she's supposed to be doing.
And you know, my history is about, you know, coming from a family where, you know, abuse and stuff like that did happen, unfortunately. But as a result of that, that's made me a stronger person. So it's all about my journey and how I can help others into becoming people where they feel empowered rather than a victim, to feel like, you know, these are the unfortunate times that I had in my life, but actually I've become stronger through it. And, you know, you can pass that on to your sisters, but also the coming generation, so that other women don't fall into that kind of trap of being with people that they don't necessarily need to be with. And to feel empowered and all those things, and to feel, you know, stronger and
you know how sometimes when you're sitting by yourself and you're feeling like, you know, you get thoughts like, oh, I wish I'd known this earlier. So platforms like this, that's what they do. Like, you know, when you say, I wish my mum had told me this, you learn all those things when you come to organisations like this. There's lots of organisations like this. So, but it's just you giving yourself permission to take action and make that first move.
With all of us, when, like you said, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So when we are ready to do that transformation work, the right people and, you know, organisation just appears. That's how beautiful the universe works for us, in supporting us to grow and be a better version of ourselves. But, you know, really, once we change our story and start working on our mind and let go of limiting beliefs, we can create the life we want. And it isn't difficult, you know. It's just becoming more calmer and being okay with things that happen to us. Let go of blame and all these sort of destructive thoughts and shame and guilt and resentment. Once we let go of this, our life can be a very heavenly experience. And it's here to enjoy, and like you said, and
please just be who you're supposed to be. Be free and just live and enjoy, because, you know, like we say, we can't say it enough. You're only here for a short while, but if you do it properly, it's long enough. And you know, limiting beliefs, right? Oh, kuch bhi nahi hega, oh aapa hi dassya hai apne aap nu, main oh nahi kar sakti, main utte nahi ja sakti.
But we have to question ourselves. Why? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? You know, what is the pressure? Where is it coming from? Is it you? Is it your family? Is it your extended family? Is it your friends? Whoever it is, they've probably got their own stuff going on. They're really not that interested in you as a person. So they're not really that bothered. So just do whatever it is that makes you happy.
All our behaviours are
the easiest thing to say.
All our behaviours are coming from these beliefs, and don't have to be limited. It can be any beliefs. You know, like something like, I can't get up in the morning. I can't do anything unless I have my tea and muffin.
Yes. Or we to see the apne aap nu
that's just
I can't function.
You know, I can't function. I gotta have this. You know, how can you not live without a piece of cake? You know, people, how can they live? So it's just everything's a belief. But once we change that belief on a subconscious level, cake doesn't mean anything. Cake won't even exist in an environment.
Exactly.
So once you change your beliefs, your whole environment changes.
It's like you know, I used to go to the gym at 6:30 in the morning. I used to wait for them to open the door. And now I tell myself, I don't know how I did it. Those days, I used to be there. I mean, now I still go in the morning, but those days I used to go at 6:30.
Wow.
And every single day. And I used to be the first person to enter the gym, but I needed it then, and I did it, and it kept me going because when you, it was my survival guide, right? And now, when you come out of your story, but you're strong enough to still share your story, it becomes someone else's survival guide. And when you have actually healed and done all the inner work, that's when you know you've healed without crying. You know, you can share your story and your journey without breaking down. And again, it starts from that from inwards, doesn't it? Inside out. You've got to go inwards to just look at what's coming up for you.
Everything outside,
you need to make.
what you don't like happening out there, you know, just say, I can change that. Just change my story.
Again, self-love, it's knowing your worth, isn't it? You know you're great. You know, even like a little affirmation where you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and say, you know what, you're actually beautiful. Oh my God, that is so powerful. I just thought, that just came to my mind, and I thought just share that with our viewers. Tusi karke dekhyo. And see how powerful that is. I mean, these coaches will tell you a bit more, but I'm not a coach. But I do that and it makes a difference.
And you look in the eyes, if you look in the mirror, actually focus into the eyes, something powerful happens if you do it for a couple of minutes, even 5 minutes, and just say, I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, you know, I forgive myself, whatever. You're actually connecting through the eyes right down to your soul level, and you're connecting something very higher consciousness, and some shift happens. And you do this every day, you'll notice all of a sudden people start behaving differently towards you, actually start mirroring that back to you, that feeling of love and calmness.
And if you're kind of in a position of negativity, and if you're saying to yourself, I'm depressed, well, more of that, you will feel more of that, and you'll start to feel lower and lower. Whereas if you say, you know, if you're kinder to yourself and you say, well, I'm having a bad day, or I'm feeling a bit down today, and question it, look at what it is, address it, and see if you can do something about it, rather than just allowing it to consume you. Because I think it's, especially in these winter months, it's very hard to get up and feel very positive when it's cold.
Because it's dark in the morning, dark in the evening, early.
I knew this lady, she used to say, oh, I can't stand this, I can't stand it when the kids don't clean up their room, I can't stand when my husband leaves all the mess, I can't stand the way that my boss speaks to me, she kept saying it, I can't stand. And you know what, her feet used to ache, and when she stopped saying it, her feet stopped aching.
See, and when you said, like, you know, say mera godda dukhda or something, little things like that, when you say, you know, दूजा गोडा ठीक है, ये भी ठीक हो जाना है. Just positive chatter.
जरा गोडा ठीक है ना. You give it love and gratitude and say thank you, and just put that hands on the goda that's hurting, and then take the energy from them, put it on the goda that's hurt. You know, the goda that's better. Put the healing onto the goda that's hurting. Or pity ho janda.
See, it's so powerful, isn't it? And you know, relationships, life, we all go through tough times, and we will do. That's normal. But keep smiling, not because you're stronger than your problems, just remembering that my God is stronger than my problems. Little snippets like that, you know, honestly, they are so powerful.
And the thing is, you know, everything that most people have been through, everybody is going to go through that to a degree. Not every single issue, but you know, we all have some experience, especially at this kind of age. And we can support each other in feeling, you know, if there's a bereavement or anything, we don't want people to suffer on their own. You know, we want it to be a platform where people can come and share and also feel lighter and feel a sense of healing going forward.
And belonging, you know, like community, you know, it's so important, especially when you've gone through some trauma and you often feel lonely because those people that were talking to you now, you know, are not talking to you because they're busy talking about you. So one can feel so lonely, or even when you question stuff, people don't like that.
Yeah.
But it's fine, it's who you are. But this is where community and belonging to a group where you can just be you and be welcomed is so important.
Yeah, and to not feel judged.
Yes.
It's really important. And, you know, sometimes you can be a loud person and the people that you're around don't like that. But
no.
we welcome anybody and everybody.
Everybody is welcome.
In the sense of, you know, your personality is important to you, and why should you apologise?
Vibes right? So we welcome everybody, and, you know, if we can make a difference to one person, like we keep saying, it's worth it. And, you know, just remember, just every so often, do a small like mental health check just on yourself, because it's really important. What do you share with us what you do for your mental health or well-being, you know, on a regular basis?
On a regular basis,
meditation?
Yeah, I do my meditation and everything, and because I see the benefits from that, because how I just interact with the world out there, I don't feel so off track, you know, I can easily get composed quickly. Things like little techniques, like sometimes when I feel really sluggish in the morning and I don't feel so energetic, I do a technique like tapping on my thymus gland. It's like, you know, the thymus, you know, sternum bone here, and just behind there's a thymus gland, and the thymus gland, it actually activates, it boosts energy. So if you feel like you're feeling sluggish, Kuchundani, tap on it for about a minute or 5 minutes, because what the thymus gland is, it sort of like generates T cells, white blood cells, and that sort of like actually fights off viruses, pathogens, and all these, you know, bacteria. But usually the thymus gland is usually very big in a child, a newborn baby, and up to, like, say, the year 3 or 4, because when a child chota, they're always eating things off the floor, putting things in their mouth, and they're exposed to a new environment full of bugs. So that's why it's a way of protecting that child from all these bugs and things. But as we get older, it starts to shrink. So that's why it's important for us to keep activating it, and that makes me feel quite, you know, active. So if I feel like, you know, people procrastinate and things, I haven't got the energy, I feel too sleepy.
Easily done, isn't it?
And so when you tap on that 1 to 5 minutes, also you get a boost of energy, because it's got adrenaline and cortisol, and that's why you see gorillas and apes, you know, when they start stomping themselves.
That's really
because if they feel threatened and need that boost of energy, they thump themselves. There's nature given all these things for us to use. So if you ever feel like you want some energy, a quick burst of energy, thump on your thymus gland, about 1 to 5 minutes, and you'll be vitalized.
Thank you. You know, time doesn't wait for anybody. Just quickly, just look after yourself, because you're worth it. You know, you've come this far and you can go all the way. So just take care of yourself. Homemade, fresh food, and just that exercise, meditation, and we'll give Gudyal a couple of minutes just to share what she does for her mental health and well-being.
I could say that right now I'm quite content in my life right now. Good. And I think that is because of a lot of self-growth. Meeting you two has been obviously a part of it. Not constant, but connecting with your friends, with your family, enjoying the time that you do have with the people that you care and love. And yeah, you know, we talked about toxic, but maybe keep a bit of a distance from people who bring you down. So you know, exercise regularly. I love walking the dog. I like being in nature. I always have my headphones on because I love listening to positive music. Watching funny things. So all of these make me feel really grateful for my life. So I think that's my biggest thing.
And hopefully we'll be back very soon with another episode of your Saheli Chat Show. Jai Gurudev.